From Jack Murphy Stadium, home of the San Diego Padres and the San Diego Chargers, it's going to be CIF Toyota Championship Baseball. The Mount Carmel Sundevils against the Rancho Bernardo Broncos. I'm Greg Porter, and we'll be right with the lineups in just a moment. So sit back and get ready to enjoy championship baseball in the CIF. Here. Mount Carmel, the Sundevils, their head coaches Steve Edwards, assistant coaches Dean Weiss and Sal Embry. Number 2, Mike Murphy, as a shortstop this year. He's a freshman. Number 3, Mark Turan, catcher. He is a junior. Dave Uris, number 5, a pitcher. He's played outfield. He's a senior. Number 6, Eric Chavez. He's done some pitching, and he's also a shortstop. Last year's co-player of the year, or rather player of the year, the junior. Jake Epstein, number 8, the catcher, third base. He's a junior. Number 9, Mark Monsey. He's also played third base and second base as a junior. Number 10, Dennis Mello. He's played some outfield as a junior. Number 12, Frank Giammi. Played outfield positions, and he's played catching as a senior. Number 15, Brian Weber. He's played second base and shortstop as a senior. 16, Tony Castillo. He's played outfield positions as a senior. Number 17, Frank Mangarelli, first baseman, as a junior. 21, Donnie Rogers. He's played outfield as a senior. 23, Ryan Osterhose. He's done some pitching this year, and he's also played some outfield positions as a senior. Mike Giammi, 25, the pitcher, listed as an outfielder also as a senior. Doug Shaw, number 30, a pitcher, played first base. And do that as a senior. Carl Logreco, number 34, pitching and can play first base, a senior. Number 39, Chiachi Mueller. He's played second base and shortstop as a junior. And then number 44, Eric Munson, has done the catching duties and played third base as a junior. And that'll wrap up both of the total lineups basically for the Rancho Bernardo Broncos and the Mount Carmel Sundevils. And we'll be back with the starting of today's game in just a moment. Leading off for Rancho Bernardo, the Broncos, is going to be number 27, Jaime Jones. Jaime Jones has been seen before on our George Landman Video Sports Productions back in '89 in an all-star game in which they won, back up in Poway. Dave Uris' first pitch, and this one is lifted into center field. Calling for it is the right fielder, and he makes the play. As the center fielder was shifted over, or left fielder making a play, as he was shifted over towards right, the center fielder was. So Jaime Jones takes the first offering of Uris and flies out to left field. Greg Porter with George Landman Video Sports Productions, happy to be with you. And the next pitch is slapped down to third, a bobble, and gonna be on is Bobby Koba. Koba slapping it down to Eric Munson, and Munson wasn't able to handle it. And they give Munson an error on the play, so Koba is aboard. Here's number 22, Juan Ackerman. First two pitches from Uris. He comes in here with a .60 ERA. And one of the top all-time in a season for a pitcher in San Diego County as far as ERA is concerned. Holding the runner, Koba, at first base. 1 ball and no strikes to count. Uris, the power pitcher for the Sundevils. 1 out in the inning. And it's an inside strike. 1 ball and 1 strike to count to Juan Ackerman. Ackerman batting .547 with 3 home runs and 29 RBIs. He slaps one by the second baseman into right field. So Juan Ackerman is aboard with a base hit. And now the Broncos have runners on first and second here in the first inning. Ackerman just reaching out and going with the pitch and slapping it into right field. Here's number 30, Tony Betancourt. Steps in there from the left side, batting .391 with 4 home runs and 30 RBIs on the season. Betancourt gets all of that pitch and hits it into right field, but it is caught by Donnie Rogers on a nice play. Rogers going over towards the center field side. He got most of that pitch, but he wasn't able to get it in the gap as Rogers makes the play.
First baseman, number 18, Jason.
2 down in the first inning. Here's Jason Burney, batting .300, stepping in from the right side. Burney has 1 home run and 22 RBIs as they throw back of Corba at second base. They almost picked him off. Uris well aware of Koba. And Ackerman at first base. And he comes to the plate, and this one's a strike. Uris likes to cut the fastball at times. Power pitcher mixing it up. Man, that one is another strike. Uris now ahead of the count. No balls and 2 strikes. 1 hit in the inning, no score. Runners on first and second for the Broncos, and now they'll go down as striking out is Jason Burney.
Good job, D.
So no runs in the top half for the Broncos on the 1 hit. There was the 1 error, and they stranded 2. So we go to the home half for the Sundevils of the first inning. No score. Let's get the defense for the Broncos of Rancho Bernardo. Jason Burney at first base. Second is Matt Castillo. Around as short as Bobby Koba. Over at third base is Juan Ackerman. Over in left field is Mike Kohlmeyer. In center field is Jaime Jones. And in right field is Josh Pascarella. Behind home plate is Tony Betancourt. And on the mound is Ryan Bailey. Bailey 7-3 this year with a 2.64 ERA. Bailey with a good strikeout to innings pitch ratio. Another power pitcher, 2 the best for these 2 teams going against each other. Leading it off is Eric Chavez, number 6. Chavez batting .525 on a season with the 10 home runs, 33 RBIs. Chavez last year the player of the year CIF for Division I. Chavez can do many things. Obviously, he can hit with power. And this year, doing a fine job as far as the stolen base category is concerned. Set a CIF record for stolen bases, stole 49 this year. So he's tough when he gets on a base pass. Obviously a guy that you want to try to get out if you're Ryan Bailey. First pitch to him is foul tipped into the catcher's glove. No balls and 1 strike to count. Ryan Bailey's next pitch is down too low, and now it's 1-1.
Walks a double here, Coach.
Jack Murphy Stadium, the CIF championship for Division I. Bailey comes to the plate. This one is hit high into center field, right center field, battling the sun, and making the play there is Jaime Jones. Jaime Jones, a good player, and he finally was able to corral it, and it's 1 down. Chavez taking it for a little bit of a ride here at the Murph. Now this will bring up to bat the first baseman, number 34, Carl LaGreco. LaGreco comes in here batting .365 on the season. 27 RBIs and a couple of home runs. Stepping in there from the right side to face Bailey. And a right-hander's delivery is hit down at third base. A tough play. It's fair ball down the left field line. Running to second, trying to make it a double, and he does. Standing up with a double, Carl LaGreco. So LaGreco taking the pitch down a left field line, and now the Sundevils have a base runner. And it'll bring it to bat number 44, Eric Munson. Munson has had a good year at the plate, batting .495 with 6 homers, 39 RBIs. Bailey comes to the plate, a little high. Bailey trying to keep an eye at second base with LaGreco. Next pitch is up and outside. 2 balls and no strikes to count. LaGreco trying to pick up, or rather Munson trying to pick up LaGreco at second base. Munson fouls that one away over into the stands. Over there, the Rancho Bernardo parents and brothers and sisters and partisan over on that side, right behind the dugout. Looked like somebody tried to make a play. 2 balls and 1 strike to count. Bailey comes a little bit too high, and now it's 3-1. He's behind on the count with LaGreco down at second base. Mike Giammi is on deck, the center fielder. Takes a look at LaGreco and comes to the plate. Down too low, so now it's going to be runners on first and second for Mount Carmel. And now here is number 25, Mike Giammi. Giammi, who likes to hit runners in. He has 32 RBIs on a season. 5 home runs, has a little pop in his bat. Stepping in from the right side. Bailey looking at LaGreco and comes high to Giammi. 1 ball and no strikes. Not a thing you want to do if you're a pitcher, ever to start falling behind in the count. Because then you got to come to him, and that's when they lay on the pitch. And he hits it into right field for a base hit. Rounding third is LaGreco. He's got to come to the plate. It's a bang-bang play. LaGreco is in there. LaGreco slid by the tag of Tony Betancourt. It's 1-0, the Sundevils. So LaGreco coming in and not liking the call on the other side is the partisan for Rancho Bernardo. Head coach Sam Blaylock talking to the home plate umpire. He obviously did not like the call. A close play. These two teams have seen this before in a close play category. They did it the last time they played each other. Mount Carmel winning the game 2-1 in Palomar League play. 2 neighbors going against each other here at the Murph, and we've got it started already. Donnie Rogers steps in. Number 21, a right fielder, batting .300, 4 home runs on the year with 15 RBIs. Runners at second and third. You got Munson at third base, and Giammi's at second. A chance with runners in scoring position again here for Rogers. Rogers hasn't picked up a lot of them during the season, but he's hit some home runs out. And he hits this one well, makes good contact into left field. 1 run will score, and a good throw to the cutoff man, and it's 2-0. So all of a sudden, 3 hits in the inning, and we're looking at a 2-0 score with the Sundevils still threatening, and they want to talk to Ryan Bailey. Steve Edwards giving his man up at the plate, Jake Epstein, a few words.
Get that kid off first base there, Mr. Cameraman.
Epstein, the number 6 man in the lineup. And we're going to take a break with the score 2-0. The Sundevils lead here in the first. Jake Epstein steps in, 2 homers and 16 RBIs on a season, batting .255. Pitch to Epstein, and he's waving the runner. It's going to be a close play, but he is tagged out of there. The throw down to third, they might have the double play, and they do. So the Sundevils trying to see if they could push one in, and then the follow-up, the double steal, it didn't work, and that's the end of the inning. They get 2 in the inning at the end of 1 inning of play here at the Jack Murphy Stadium. It's, of course, Mount Carmel 2. And nothing yet for Rancho Bernardo. And you get a look here at Jack Murphy Stadium of the upper deck, which last year they kind of decided that they don't need to allow anybody up there for games here at the Murph, the San Diego Padres. Hopefully that will return one day as the Padres continue to do better. First man up is Matt Castillo for Rancho Bernardo, the Broncos. Castillo, the second baseman, batting .307 with no home runs and 11 RBIs. And Uris's pitch is on a hop down to third. And out goes Castillo. So Castillo going out 5-3 if you're keeping score. And it'll bring up to bat number 37, Jesse Cardella. He's a designated hitter for Ryan Bailey. Cardella, his numbers, .375 on the season. First pitch to him is a strike from Uris. He's got the 1 home run and 12 RBIs. Batting in that number 7 position. And a strike at the knees. Uris got the good ERA, likes to stay ahead on the count, and he's back at it again. Broncos doing a lot of first ball pitching in the first inning, and down on strikes. Down swinging is Cardella. Here's the number 8 batter for the Broncos, Mike Kohlmeyer. Kohlmeyer with a .409 average. 1 home run and 7 RBIs on the season. Uris's pitch. He's down for a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. Rancho Bernardo with a good defensive play to end the first inning for them. And give Ryan Bailey some help, as he had to be talked to by the coaching staff to try to settle him down. Always helps, as the next one is a ball. 3 balls and no strikes. Always helps when you a pitcher and you have that defense behind you.
Come on now, back. Come on now.
3-1, that good defense, because obviously shortens the innings for you. The 3-1 delivery, this one is slap foul. Nobody's sitting over there, so 3-2 the count, as Uris fighting back. Josh Pascarella on deck. And this one's high for ball 4, so Kohlmeyer gets the walk. First walk issued in the contest for either team. And now here's Josh Pascarella, the right fielder. Pascarella batting .312. And he pops the first one up foul into the stands behind us. And out of play. Heard a thud, so I don't think anybody caught that one. Pretty decent crowd, though, for a high school game. Obviously, the Jack Murphy Stadium having the attraction. And the throw to first is a little late, as getting back is Kohlmeyer. This one is hit into left field for a base hit. So Kohlmeyer reaches out and slaps one into left. You got runners on first and second with 2 down. And we'll go to the top of the order. Always dangerous. Jaime Jones comes to the plate. Boy, you love it when you get those 8 and 9 guys to produce. The walk to Kohlmeyer, and then, of course, the single by Pascarella. The second hit of the contest against Uris. And here's Jaime Jones. Jones flied out the left field the first time up at the plate. And a first pitch to him is a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. Jones from the left side. And that next pitch is a strike, 1-1. Uris, who does not want to get behind against a guy like Jones. Jones, of course, with the power, ability to drive in runs. 1-1 to count to him here. Runners take a little short lead, and the next pitch is a ball for ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike to count. Rancho Bernardo trying to cut the lead in half, or maybe tie it up if they can, or go ahead. They've got the runners into positions right now. 3 balls and 1 strike to count. Uris looking for the right one. 3-1 delivery is hit to center field. Hit rather well, back about 360 feet, but it's caught there by left fielder Frank Giammi. Again, hitting the ball well is Jaime Jones, but he can't seem to find a gap. And it's still going to be 2-0 in favor of the Sundevils as we go to the bottom of the second inning. Okay, we start the bottom half of the second half of the inning, rather. It's the Sundevils up, and this one's off the third baseman. A foul ball on the other side, a foul side of the third base bag. Of course, if it goes over the bag, then it's going to be fair most of the time. But if it goes on that bag and it goes foul before it gets to that bag, then that was the situation there. Jake Epstein. Epstein, number 8. Swinging at that first pitch, and the next one is high. And now the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Epstein batting .255 on the season with the 2 home runs and 16 round runs batted in. Next one's a strike to him, so quickly here Bailey trying to get ahead of Epstein. And this one is fisted foul. First base line picking it up there, and Getting it back to Uris is LaGreco. Or rather, Jason Burney. LaGreco playing first base for the Sundevils. This one hit foul down the third base line again. And trying to, he's been fouled both times now on the first base line and the third base line. So he's trying to see if he can time that curveball. And this one gets him for strike 3. So Bailey staying tough on the mound, knowing what he wants to do and not allowing Epstein to get the upper hand. One down, and here's Brian Weber, the second baseman. Weber on the season batted .312 with no home runs and 6 RBIs. Bailey's pitch is a strike. No balls and 1 strike to count to Weber. Next one's a little bit high. Weber in that number 7 position. The Sundevils allowing Uris to bat. He's on deck. They don't have the designated hitter in place of him. And there's a reason for that, because Uris has been a man that has hit pretty well. Next one to Weber is hit off the pitcher's mound. Tough play for the shortstop. He stays with it and makes a play. Nice play that time by Bobby Koba. Always tough when it hits that pitcher's mound, but Koba staying with it, getting his feet set, and makes a good throw. 2 down in the inning. And now here's the pitcher, Dave Uris. Uris want to try to help himself out here in the bottom of the second. 1 ball and no strikes to count to him. Uris, as I mentioned, has had a fine year pitching the ball. And he's also done it well at the bat, too, as he can't get that fastball. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Bailey has him swinging and missing on that one, and now it's 1-2. Bailey with that 2.64 ERA on the season. He's had a real good year on the hill. This one is slapped into left field, and Uris is able to figure out Bailey for a base hit. That's the reason why they let number 5, Uris, stay in there and do the hitting duties himself, because he does it rather well, batting over .300 this year. So now here's Frank Giammi, number 9 batter.
Frank Giammi.
Hey, base runners, Frankie.
Bailey comes to the plate, and this one's a strike. Bailey has had quite a good command of his pitches in this inning. He's done rather well. One ball and 1 strike to count. And a curveball goes in for strike 2, and now it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Giammi, the number 9 batter. Chavez wants a chance on deck. On 1 hop, knocking it down and throwing him out is Bailey. So they go rather quietly in the bottom half of the second inning. There was no runs on the 1 hit, Dave Uris' single. No errors, and they strand 1. We go to the top of the 3rd inning. It's still 2 for the Sundevils. Nothing yet for the Broncos. as you take a look at the total distance that it is from home plate to straightaway center field here at Jack Murphy Stadium in San Diego. 405, Bobby Kova will step up to the plate for the Broncos, followed by Juan Ackerman and then Tony Betancourt. And the number 2 man in the lineup pulls away on a bunt. 1 ball and no strikes to count. The 2-run lead in this contest for Urus. And this one is outside now. And quickly it's 2 balls and no strikes. Kobo making the good defensive play on that grounder up the hill in the last defensive half of the inning. And he's thrown out here as he hits one right back to the hill. Urus making the play. So 1 gone for the Broncos. And it'll bring up to bat Juan Ackerman.
Hey, watch the snake, Juan.
Third baseman, Juan Ackerman.
Ackerman singled his first time up. He's got the balloon batting average, .547. And he a little late on this one and fouls it behind him. Weather getting a little bit cooler here at the Murph. A couple of games already played earlier today here in the CIF Toyota Championships, Division 2 and Division 3. And we're ready to continue on with this one here in Division 1. One ball and 1 strike to count. This one is hit well, but moving over to back up the center fielder making the play was Mike Giammi. So Ackerman popping out. Here's Tony Betancourt. Betancourt flying out to right his first time up. Of course, Tony making the big play at home plate on Mike Giammi in that first inning, which started the double play. This one's fouled away. Takes a little bit off that one, and a tough play made by the first baseman, but he recovers in time and gets it over to Urus covering. Nice play by Carl LaGreco, getting it over to Urus. And they don't get any runs on no hits, no errors, nobody left. And we'll go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. It's still 2-0. The Sundevils lead the Broncos. Did you see them there? Here's a good look at the banner there for the Mount Carmel Sundevils, 2-time Palomar League champions. Have played some great baseball in the Palomar League over the years, and they've got their parents and fans out here today at Jack Murphy Stadium in the CIF championship game to see if they can win their 5th CIF title. Eric Chavez will lead it off in the 3rd inning. Chavez, of course, last year's Player of the Year and co-player of the year in the Palomar League this year. And the next one is fouled over towards us. 63 hits was a record in the season for CIF record in the season for Eric Chavez. Chavez wrapping up a banner year here at Jack Murphy Stadium and a banner career as well. 2 balls and 1 strike. The count.
Good eye.
Bailey Throws this one a little bit high, and now it's 3 balls and 1 strike. Don't want to fall behind against Chavez. And Chavez, recognizing that one was down too low for ball 4. Did a quick turn and got out of the batter's box and headed to first base. Just a little bit of the confidence of the number 6, Eric Chavez. First walk issued into the contest for Ryan Bailey. LaGreco stepping in. Greco, who doubled his first time up.
Let's be smart, 6, huh? He's going, too. Just a matter of which pitch is going.
Not any kind of a breeze to mention here, as flag limp out there in center field. Big gap between left and center field for LaGreco. This one's hit to third base. Fumbled and bobbled, but they say that he made the catch on the line drive. And that even though he lost it, he had already held it long enough. So down goes LaGreco. And his crowd gives him a hand. The third baseman doing a fine job on that play, Juan Ackerman.
Third baseman, Eric Munson.
Now here's third baseman for the Sundevils, Eric Munson. 1 down in the inning. Or rather, make it 2 outs in the inning. Actually got the double play on the play. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. One and 2. Bailey staying ahead on the count. And he deals on the 1-2 pitch. And now it's 2-2. Eric Munson, double 44. And this one is inside, and it's going to be ball 3 now, 3-2, full count. Full count for Munson. And it's ball 4, so Munson gets the walk. Long look there by Ryan Bailey. And, of course, holding it for him, Tony Betancourt, but they didn't get the call. So Giammi will step in. Second walk in the inning for Bailey. Giammi, who singled his first time up. And they throw back of Munson, and the ball goes awry. Bernie running it down, and then the right fielder has to come into play, and all the way to third is Munson. So the Broncos with the error. Bernie didn't seem like he was ready for Bailey to throw the ball to him. And through it all, Munson ends up at third base. And now Giammi with a perfect opportunity here to get a RBI. No balls and 1 strike to count with 2 gone. The next one, a curveball, is in there for strike 2. Giammi behind on the count, 0-2. Bailey trying to get out of the inning. But this one is hit into mid center field and caught on a nice running catch by none other than Jaime Jones. So Jones finishes them off, and that'll do it in the third inning for the Sun Devils. So we're going to go to the fourth inning. It's still Mount Carmel 2, Rancho Bernardo nothing. Leading off here in the fourth inning is Jason Burney. And Burney on the long throw is there as LaGreco pulled off the bag. Eric Chavez's throw a little bit towards the home plate side of the bag. And that's 2 errors into the contest now for the Sun Devils as Burney is aboard. Matt Castillo coming up to the plate.
Second baseman, Matt Castillo.
Dave Uris comes to home plate, and this one's hit off the mound. A tough play, and it will go into center field for a base hit. So he hits it right on the button off the mound, and it hops into center field for a base hit for Matt Castillo. And Castillo and company have something going with runners on first and second. And here's 37, Jesse Cardella. Cardella, the designated hitter. Cardella with the 12 RBIs on the season, a chance to get a couple more here. And he attempts to bunt, and it's a strike. No balls and 1 strike to count. Uris after the error, the fielding error, and now the single. A little bit of a jam here with nobody out in the fourth inning for the Broncos. The next one is a curveball for a strike. 0-2. Designated hitter. Usually you don't see him trying to bunt too often. They're usually the guys that try to hit the ball for power somewhere. Try to paste it against the wall somewhere. That's what he's trying to do here, and this one bounces towards home plate, allowing the runners to move up. Or 1 runner moving up, and that is a lead runner in Burney. So Jason Burney is now at third. Castillo elects to stay at first base. And now they are 90 feet away, they being the Broncos, from cutting the lead in half. Cardella behind on the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Uris doesn't want to lose him, but he goes down too low. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes now. Uris with the outstanding ERA this year. And he stays in there and strikes him out. Uris, in order to be able to do that, you got to have a command of your pitches. You got to know what you're doing up there, and he does it very well as he strikes out Cardella. Always clutch for your defense when you can get a big strikeout like that. And a nice defensive play like that one as it's hit, as they get the double play. Hit right to Brian Weber. He goes to LaGreco, and they end the inning. That has been a trademark of their season in key situations when it's looked bleak. Still 2-0 as we go to the home half of the fourth inning. Mount Carmel Sun Devils will lead off in the bottom of the fourth inning with Donnie Rogers, followed by Jake Epstein, and then Brian Weber. The Broncos still holding on to the 2-0 lead. Or rather, the Sun Devils still holding on to the 2-0 lead. They've got the 4 hits. Committed a couple errors in this contest, but they haven't costed them. They committed 1 in that last inning, but were able to get out of it with the double play. And the right fielder, Rogers, did not have a clue on that pitch. And now it's 0-2. Bailey has stayed tough after that first inning was rather rocky. He's got some good defensive plays to support him, as striking out is Donnie Rogers. That is only the second strikeout in the contest for Rogers. Mentioned before the contest, Bailey has a very good on the season of 95, the strikeout to innings pitch ratio. 62 Ks in 50 innings. The pitch is a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. Epstein struck out his first time up in the second inning. And Epstein gets all of this pitch for a single. So Epstein getting the 5th hit of the contest for the Sundevils. And now here's Brian Weber. And there's going to be a substitution as Epstein's going to come out. And they've got a substitute runner in there, and we'll get that for you momentarily.
Running at first base for the Sundevils for Epstein, number 36.
It's number 36, Ryan Osterhughes. So Osterhughes at first base for the Sundevils, getting a chance to get into the game and do some running. Ryan Weber, and he looks at the strike. Weber grounded out his first time up. Weber doesn't have any home runs on the 95 season. The throwback at first base. And getting back is Osterhughes. Bailey well aware of the runners out there, but has to be careful as this one is down too low. A throw to Bernie in the prior inning, getting by Bernie and then the runner being able to advance. Fortunately enough, they were able to get out of the inning on double play. And a throw again. Getting in there safely, dusting himself off is Osterhughes. 1 ball and 1 strike to count to Brian Weber. Weber with his team leading 2-0. Good eye. Bottom of the 4th frame. Two and 1 to count. Behind Weber is Dave Uris. As Weber looking over at his coaching staff, trying to get some signs, directions on what to do. And backup of Osterhughes, and the next one is high. And so now it's 3 balls and 1 strike. Always the communication going on. That dugout, first base coach, whether or not to bunt him across or whether or not to basically take a pitch, as this one is fouled away, as Osterhughes might be stealing. And if you're a defensive team out there, you always got to be aware of whenever they substitute a guy in there to run, he's obviously got some base stealing abilities. 3 balls and 2 strikes to count. The 3-2 pitch is up too high, and that's ball 4, so Weber's going to get a walk to first base, sending Osterhughes down to second. So now Mal Carmel's got runners on first and second here. And here's Dave Uris. Uris singled his first time up. Uris with an opportunity, if he can get a hit here, to get an RBI. The look back at second by Bailey, and he comes to the plate, and it's high. 1 ball and no strikes to count. Uris 13 games, 112, only lost one all year long. Here's a play over to shortstop, and he can't get it out of his hand to throw it the right way. He lost the grip, lost the handle on it as he tried to make his play over to third base to try to cut off the lead runner. And Bobby Koba allows a situation where it's bases loaded with Uris at first, Weber is at second, and Epstein is at third. And now here's Frank Giammi. Giammi hasn't had a great year as far as the RBI statistic is concerned, but that's when it's always dangerous for opposing pitcher. Those guys that are looking for that opportunity in a big game to cash in. 1 ball and no strikes to count. Giammi, the number 9 man in the lineup for the Sundevils, trying to give way to Chavez. The power. And Giammi tries to lift one into right field, and it will go in the right field. 1 run will score. 2 runs will score. Also use the company. And now it is 4-0. As I just mentioned, that's the kind of guy that you always got to be scared of if you're a pitcher. The guy that's looking for an opportunity, the big play that everybody doesn't focus on during the year. And he does it right there.
Great job, 1-2.
Just a seeing eye single into right field. Always the tough play there. Runner scoring in the name of Epstein and Weber, or rather Osterhus scoring and Weber scoring. And of course Uris at third base, the pitcher, with Giammi at second. Uris is at third, and of course right there is Frank Giammi. And Eric Chavez is going to be the man up at the plate. And getting the hand right there is number 12, Frank Giammi, as he gives way to a pinch runner. And also getting a hand on the Broncos side, coming out, who's had a fine season, Ryan Bailey. But the things get out of control a little bit here in the 4th inning, as the Sundevils able to get that base hit that scores 2 runs and gives them now, or scores 1 run rather, and gives them the 3-0 lead.
Hey, you're scoring on a single, Murphy.
Okay, now running for Frank Giammi is Mark Herron. That's for the Sundevils. And now pitching, number 14 is Josh Ham. Ham, in 39 innings of pitching, has a 3.38 ERA with 43 strikeouts. 2 wins and no losses with 4 saves. He's usually the save master for the Broncos. Coming in now in relief. Try to get something done against Eric Chavez with the bases loaded, always dangerous. The first pitch is low for ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes to Eric Chavez. Obviously here a golden opportunity for the Sundevils to break the game wide open. And the next pitch is a ball, 2 balls and no strikes. And as you well know, as I mentioned before, you don't want to fall behind as a pitcher against any batter, but especially against the ones that can really hurt you. And Chavez can do that. The 2-0 delivery is a strike. He got that one. And now it's 2-1. Obviously, Ham has his work cut out for him. He hasn't given up any home runs yet this year. And that one's a little bit too low.
Gotta throw strikes, 1-4.
3 balls and 1 strike. The count to Eric Chavez with the bases loaded for the Sundevils. They lead 3-0 here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. And that one's inside, or outside rather, for ball 4. So Eric Chavez will walk. Chavez getting his second walk of the contest and scoring the run is the Sundevils, and now they lead 4-0. Base is still loaded, of course, and here's Carl LaGreco. LaGreco with the 27 RBIs on the year. In the first inning, he doubled, and in the third inning, he lined out to third. Ham ahead in the count to LaGreco. 0-1. The 0-1 delivery by the left-hander is hit into right field. Back is the right fielder, Pascarella, and he makes the play. The cutoff man throws it to home, and it's not in time. So LaGreco getting the RBI, getting his 28th and 29th on the season. At first base now, and of course at third is Chavez. Or rather not Chavez, but pinch runner. Eric Munson up at the plate. Okay. Of course, runner Heron at third base and Chavez is at first, of course, and Munson being the batter.
Don't take the bat out of his hand, 6.
Trying to keep Chavez honest over there at first base, coming to the plate to Munson, and it's a ball. No balls and 1 strike with 2 down in the inning. 5-0, the Sundevils lead. Ham looking for the right one against Munson. Delivers as taking off is Chavez. They bluff the throw, and Chavez is safe at second. So Chavez, seeing that he could pick one, as he has saw that he has been able to do that quite well this year, setting the CIF record for steals in a season with 49. He's got his 50th one. And they call it a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count now, as Munson up there, who has singled in the contest and walked. 1 for 1 and 2 trips. Trying to get an RBI here. He swings and fouls it away. Munson with the 40 or the 39 RBIs, trying to get 40, which stands at third base in Heron, and 41 maybe in Chavez. Standing at second. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ham ahead on the count, trying to get the inning over with a minimal amount of damage for the Broncos. Keep them in the game. Comes to the plate. This one is hit on a button right down to second base. And Castillo making a play over to Bernie. He didn't catch the ball. So now coming in is Chavez, and moving down to second is Munson. An easy play. You see it from Little League all the way up. But for some reason, Bernie didn't glove the baseball. And 2 runs come in on the error. Always always the problem when your defense doesn't make the plays for you. And Steve Edwards got to be happy as he's giving directions out there to Munson. Munson standing on second base, and of course you see there in your picture that meeting for the Broncos. Infielders want to talk it over. Koba, Castillo, Bernie. And of course the man on the mound, Ham. Try to settle down. Here's Giammi stepping up. Giammi has singled and flied out in 2 trips. He's 1 for 2. First pitch to him is a strike. Munson down at second base. Seven to nothing to score. The Sundevils lead. Still in the bottom of the 4th inning, the Sundevils breaking the game open with 5 runs here. This is the biggest margin between these two teams all season. As that curveball is outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count. A rather darkened stadium as the clouds have completely covered overhead.
Sean, be quiet.
There's been some sunshine today. But in the month of June, as that one is foul tipped, you have a situation where you may get a little bit of sunshine, but then you'll have to play under the lights, as the lights will be coming on after this inning. 2-2 to count with 2 down. High for ball 3, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Stretching a little bit there is Giammi. Giammi hits it down to second. Let's see what the second baseman and first baseman can do with this time. He makes a good play, Jason Bernie. Bernie had to dig it out. Stayed concentrated this time as the 4-3 combination ends the inning. And we'll go to the top of the 5th inning. They score 5, and they get a hand, the Sundevils, as they take the field. They lead 7-0.
One left. The end of 4.
And in 5th inning, Josh Pascarella lines this one foul. Dave Uris still on a hill. Uris with that ERA that is 9th all-time in a season coming into this contest at .60. Leading in this one 7-0, allowing only 3 hits so far. Lights have come on now, back of left field. And they follow the rest of the way. This one has popped up. Asking for it is the first baseman, LaGreco, and he makes the play. Nice play by LaGreco as he had to make the over-the-shoulder catch going out toward the right field stands, and it's 1 down.
Center fielder, Jaime Jones.
And here's Jaime Jones. First pitch to Jaime Jones is a strike. Jaime Jones, who scored 48 runs on a season. Slugging average in high school at .968 is phenomenal. Jones always making best opportunities, most of the opportunities that he has up there at the plate. Showing that he has a full command of the strike zone and what he has to do up there. And you need that from a leadoff batter. This one is hit hard and into right field. Jaime Jones hits that one over Carl LaGreco. LaGreco tried to make a great play on it, but it was hit with too much velocity and a clear single for Jones.
Shortstop, Bobby Koba.
And so now we'll bring up to bat for Rancho Bernardo, Bobby Cova. Cova, one of the 2 players in his starting lineup that does not have a home run. As he looks at the next one down too low. But Cova is a man that has that 347 slugging average and a 395 on base average, so he likes to get on. Cova scored 33 runs on a season. And the next one is a strike to him. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Uris staying tough on the hill. Aware that Jones is at first base. And works to Cova, and he fouls it away. Cova just missing on that pitch. Putting it in play. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 1 out. His team down by 7 runs, 7-0 here in the 5th. And this one is outside. Arching his back and putting a little extra into that one was Dave Uris. But Uris is behind on the count. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Cova. On deck is Juan Ackerman. 3-2 pitch fouled away. Cova staying tough. Cova with almost a Fu Manchu up there. Got the facial hair. Throw at first to LaGreco behind it. Runner Jones. He's not budging. Really no need to when you got a lot of runs. However, he takes off, and this one is hit to right field. Asking for it over there is Donnie Rogers, and he makes a play.
Third baseman, Juan Ackerman.
So Cova was able to straighten that one out, but he flies out to right field for the first out. For the second out, rather, and it brings it to bat Juan Ackerman. Of course, Pasquarella was the man who flied out to start the inning. And this one's fouled by. Ackerman is singled and fly to center field in 2 trips. He's 1 for 2. Jones wanting to be picked up at first base for Sam Blaylock's club, and now he goes down to second, and he's thrown out on a great play by Jake Epstein to get it down to Brian Weber. Epstein, a nice throw down, and Weber, all he had to do is apply the tag on the right-hand side of the bag, and that's where you want it as a catcher. As we go to the bottom of the 5th inning, it's still 7 for the Sundevils, nothing yet for the Broncos.
Go to work, let's go to work.
Ryan Gillespie's now on the hill for Rancho Bernardo, the Broncos. In 33 innings pitched, he has allowed a 3.15 ERA. Has 4 wins and 2 losses on the season. But the strikeout to innings pitched ratio is very good, as he struck out 43 batters in 33 innings. So likes to stay ahead on the count, command of his pitches.
Shorten up, D.
And so he'll come in there relieving Josh Ham on the hill. Here's number 21 in the contest, Donnie Rogers.
Shorten up.
Rogers in the contest is singled and struck out. Rogers with his team leading. They got 7 hits in the game. Committed a couple of errors, but they lead 7-0. Slow roller down is short. Bobby Kova making the play. 1 out in the bottom of the 5th. Sends it to bat. Jake Epstein, the catcher. Epstein, who was able to make the play and throwing out a runner trying to steal. And in that inning, in the top half of the 5th inning, Epstein has struck out and singled and scored once in this contest. Epstein with his baseball pants pulled up at the knees with no stirrups as he fouls this one past the third base bag and out of play. Of course, nowadays in baseball, you see variations of the way they have the length of their pants shortened or pulled up. Of course, the old days, it was just the stirrups. Now they don't even wear stirrups. Game has changed a lot over the years. Mount Carmel in the game of high school baseball has been able to be real successful at it. En route here to trying to win their 5th CIF title. This one fouled away. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Staying tough up there at the plate. Epstein. And a slow roller down to third. Trying to make the play is Ackerman. And Ackerman does. Ackerman knew he had to hurry on the play and was able to get it there in time.
Good job, Jake.
2 down. And all is said down to defense for Rancho Bernardo, beginning to get the job done here in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Second baseman, Brian Weber.
Helping out Gillespie, the reliever on the mound. And Gillespie's next pitch is a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. Gillespie's next one is high for a ball.
That way to work.
Gillespie, 6'6", 208 pounds. Senior. Playing his last game in high school baseball. Always would rather see it end in with a victory or a win. Not to say that the Sundevils can't come back, or rather the Broncos can't come back, but they are down by a lot of runs.
What else did he do? Ground it out?
Pitcher, Dave Uris.
The walk there to Weber. Dave Uris up at the plate.
Good job, Weber.
And Weber comes out of the contest.
First base for the Sundevils, number 10, Dennis Mello.
And Dennis Mello, the junior, 5'11", 180 pounds, is in there. Mello will be on the Sundevils again next year. Gillespie watching Mello. And this one is hit foul, hit well, but foul down the left field line. Dave Uris having a phenomenal season this year. Doing it any way he can. He being a man finishing out his high school baseball career in good fashion. The next one is high. High school will probably be in the tenure that you really remember a lot. And when you get an adult, as an adult, a lot of times, a lot of players not allowing themselves for various reasons the opportunity to play baseball in college, or not getting that opportunity, as calling for it there, making a nice play is Jason Burney. So we'll go to the top of the 6th inning. It's still 7-0, the Sundevils lead. Okay, we'll start off the top of the 6th inning for the Rancho Bernardo. The Broncos will start off with Juan Ackerman. Of course, Juan Ackerman was up there when the runner was thrown out at second. He hits it down to right center field, and the play is made by Donnie Rogers. Rogers traveling a little ways to make that play. Tony Betancourt steps in. He of the .391 average coming into the contest. Betancourt has a flat out to right field, and also was grounded out. This one is hit to center field. Coming in for it is Mike Giammi. He makes the play. Okay, we have 2 down on that fly out by Betancourt. Here's Jason Burney. Jason Burney looks at the first one as the first base umpire says it's a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. This one is hit well, and it's going to drop in for a base hit for Jason Burney. So Jason Burney is aboard, and here comes Matt Castillo, second baseman. Castillo grounded out and single. And then was thrown out by the second baseman when he was on the base pass. No balls and 1 strike to count here in the top of the 6th. Uris working again. And off with the catcher's mask there, Jake Epstein. Try to find it. Electing not to go down to second base, of course. On the play is Burney. 1-1 to count to Castillo. And now it's 2-1.
Bob, pitch with a lead, Davey.
Castillo hits this one to right center field. And rounding second is Burney, and he'll finally make it to third. He was kind of hobbling there. Looked like one of the wheels was trying to fall off as he tried to make it to third base on a single by Castillo. And a partisan over there for Rancho Bernardo, standing up and making noise as Castillo gets Burney over to third. A runner in scoring position now. And here's Jesse Cardella.
For the Broncos, number 6, Brinkley.
First pitch is a ball. Actually, Capen Brinkley is in there. Brinkley batting .265 on his season. And he looks at a strike there. Capen with no home runs and 6 RBIs. But in 49 times up at bat has been on base 10 times. Or rather, by way of the ball. Or the walk, I should say. And he hits this one foul down the first base line.
We almost got here 4-4.
Brinkley with a .371 on base average. Two balls and 2 strikes to count to Capen Brinkley. Brinkley with the colorful shoes up there from the right-hand side. Beats this one well. Will it drop or will it be caught? It'll be caught to end the inning. Nice play, Mike Giammi coming in, keeping his eye on the baseball, not allowing it to drop in front of him. And the threat is ended as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. It's still 7-0 Mount Carmel over Rancho Bernardo here in the title game. Okay, we're back here in the bottom half of the 6th inning for Mount Carmel. Tony Castillo is now doing pitch hitting for Frank Giammi, 5'9", 175-pound senior. He gets a chance to get in here and do some hitting.
They have 6 hits and no runs. We have 7 hits. We got 1 more hit and 7 more runs.
Castillo on a season in 37 trips to batting .243. Slow roller, tough play for second baseman. He has to throw across his body, and he pulls the runner off, or the first baseman Bernie off, as the runner is aboard. That was a real tough play, a bang-bang play there. My second baseman, Matt Castillo.
You better paint a target on your chest.
And he wasn't able to make the play. So one Castillo gives way to the other, and Tony Castillo on first base. Eric Chavez up to the plate. Down 2 low to Chavez. 3 balls and no strikes. In there pitching for Rancho Bernardo is Josh Pasquarella. Pasquarella seeing a runner on first and working to Chavez as he skies it over into the stands. Rancho Bernardo trying to come after it is catcher Tony Betancourt, but he couldn't quite get to it in time. Ran out of real estate. But the senior was hustling on the play, Betancourt.
Hey, throw that cheese up there again, Josh.
Statistics for Pasquarella, he's 3.98 ERA. He's only coming into this contest thrown 19 innings. And he throws that one below Betancourt, behind him, and that's a walk for Chavez.
First baseman, Carl LaGreco.
And so Castillo on second base, Chavez on first. And coming over there to talk to
Hey,
his
Juan,
teammate
pitch behind
is
me.
Juan Ackerman.
Come on, Carl, quick hit.
Pascarella with his ball club down 7-0 in his contest, and now Betancourt wants to talk to Pascarella, give him a little encouragement. Pascarella has 2 saves on the season, allowed 11 earned runs, and has a good strikeout to innings pitch ratio. Struck out 20 batters in 19 innings. And they say balked. So that's going to move the runners up 90 feet as Chavez will go down to second base. Castillo will go to third. And boy, manager Sam Blaylock did not want to see that at all. His team starting to hit the baseball a little bit, didn't come up with any runs. But if you're to have a chance, you definitely got to shut them out in this inning and get it going in the next. Can't allow anything else in. LaGreco up there, always dangerous. LaGreco, who's doubled, flied out at third, singled. Had a good night tonight. 3 balls and no strikes. And finally a strike from Pascarella. Pascarella comes again, and this one's down too low. So getting the walk is LaGreco, and the bases are loaded now. So after the single and the 2 walks now, you got the bases loaded. And coming up will be Eric Munson. Okay, coming into the contest to do some running duties is Doug Shaw, a 6', 290 senior. Shaw will do the running there for Carl LaGreco. And that pitch is down for a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. Or actually it was a strike on the play, so it's 0-1. 2 balls and 1 strike to Aaron Munson. Munson deep in the batter's box to Pascarella. 1-1 now to count. Bases loaded for the Sundevils. Here in their half of the 6th inning, they lead 7-0. Pascarella's pitch is low in the dirt. 2 balls and 1 strike. Just when the lights want to try to take effect here, the sun actually is trying to creep behind the crowds there a little bit, as it is only around 7 o'clock here. Usually doesn't get dark till around after 8. 2 balls and 2 strikes to number 44 Munson, who singled and walked in the contest. Scored. And that one gets a little bit of Betancourt. 3 balls and 2 strikes now. And Pascarella is in jeopardy of walking in a run and giving him the 8th run of the contest. But let's see what he can come up with here. Has the sign he deals, and it's hit foul, left field side. Running a long way and hustling after it on that play was Mike Kohlmeyer. Nice job by Kohlmeyer, continually to hustle after that foul ball, not knowing for sure that it is out of the field of play. and thinking that he might have a chance to haul it in for an out. Help out Pascarella. Here's a ground ball hit by first baseman Bernie and into right field. 1 run scores. 2 of them scoring Chavez. And holding up at second base is the man who slapped the ball down the right side, Eric Munson. So Munson pads his RBI statistics on a season. He's got over 40 of them. And stepping up now is Mike Giammi. It is 9-0. And we have a runner coming into the contest. Pinch runner. Coming in, doing some running duties. Number 17, Frank Mangarelli, a junior. And coming out of the contest is Eric Munson. Munson getting a hand from his teammates as he hit that one very well down at first base line past Bernie, who didn't have really a chance for it. Just smoked down the right field line. Pascarella's pitch is hit over to third base. Trying to stay with it is Ackerman, but he has no play. And on is Mike Giammi.
Right fielder, Donnie Rogers.
This ball is hit into center field past the shortstop, Kobe, and coming in to score on the play was number 17, Shaw. Or Mangarelli, rather, and Shaw also scored 2.
Epstein.
11-0, the Sundevils, who have broken the game open now, continuing to tee off on Pascarella and get aboard safely trip after trip. And his pitch is a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. This one is popped up and hit into the stands, foul. Nobody over there. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. The number 8, Jake Epstein. Epstein struck out, he singled, grounded out in the game, but has a chance for RBIs here as he's got a runner at second base. And he's got 1 at first. The Sundevils, a team that has been able to win the championship at the CIF throughout the 80s, and now trying to do it for the first time here in the 90s. Command of the baseball program up there in the Rancho Bernardo area. North County, as that one is now 3 balls and 2 strikes. The 3-2 pitch is swung out and missed as Epstein goes down. And an applause from the other side. It looked like we might have another substitute runner as wholesale substitutions for the Sundevils. Coming out of the contest is Mike Giammi.
Pitch running at second base, number 9, Mark Muncy.
Mark Lindsay now pinch running at second base.
Brian Weber.
Ryan Weber, the batter. Weber has grounded out and walked in 3 trips. He's walked twice. Runners on first and second, 1-0, or one ball and no strikes with 1 out here. Still 11-0 in favor of Mount Carmel. And there's a strike. In stolen base statistics, all-time CIF, the Sundevils, a team that has been able to be successful at that throughout the years in high school baseball in San Diego County. One year they had 136 as the most they ever had, or rather 137 was the most they had. Had 136 in 1983. Then in 87 they came back with 137 stolen bases. And had 129 of them back in 78. Calling for it is Bernie. He makes a play. There's 2 down. 4 runs across the board in this inning for the Sundevils. And that's not the most explosive innings because they scored 5 in the 4th inning. Game rather close up until that 4th inning when things were broken open and they being the Broncos had to get a substitute pitcher in there for Ryan Bailey. No balls and 1 strike to count. Dave Uris, the man pitching in the contest, trying to go all the way. Doesn't look like he'll have any problems in this contest unless the dam completely breaks. But that has not happened for one Dave Uris in the 1995 season. He's had it his way. Pascarella works to him again, swung on and missed. And strike 3 going down is Uris. And we'll go to the top of the 7th inning, the last chance for the Broncos as the Sundevils lead set 11-0 as we'll go to the top of the 7th. First man up in the inning flies out, and that was number 16, Phil Thompson. Dave Uris trying to go all the way. Here's Josh Pascarella, the number 9 man in the lineup for the Broncos.
I always thought about that.
And this one hit over to first base. Calling it is LaGreco, and there's 2 down. El Rancho Bernardo knocked out Mira Mesa to get here. They have had a fine season, winning 20 games. But the last man up here is Jaime Jones, and Jones knows that he knocked out one of the powers in CIF Division I prowess. The Mira Mesa Ball Club had 15 strikeouts, went all the way. Mira Mesa always the team that seems to be around as they have won a few CIF Division I championships. And this man right here did the job to knock them out of having an opportunity to play this fine Mount Carmel Ball Club today. On the season, Jones was 4-0. And he just is another individual that's had, like Dave Uris on the mound now, has had a great 1995. And they give the walk to Jones. So Jones gets on first base. And now here's Koba. Bobby Koba has been aboard on an error, the third baseman. He's grounded out and flied out in 3 trips. And they give a hand to Broncos of the Palomar League also. Jaime Jones having a great career. And he gets a well-deserved round of applause. Jones, a man who is definitely going to be heard from in baseball again, and has played his last game as now Jake Epstein comes up to talk to Uris. Bobby Koba, the man who stands in the way with 2 down of maybe putting a run across in this game. But this foul ball is ran after by Carl Greco, but he runs out of room. And that pitch is a little bit inside to Koba. 1 ball and 1 strike, 2 down, 11-0. Of course, the Sundevils lead here in the 7th inning. And Koba trying to put something across as he hits it. A blooper into center field. And moving around and holding at second base on that play is Elson Molina. Molina at second base, the sophomore, going to be on his Rancho Bernardo and see much more of Mount Carmel in high school play. I'm sure he down at second will remember this day, vowing to himself and everybody else on the ball club that we will try again to get here, and not just try, but try to win it. Of course, Koba at first base. A man who will be with Elson Molina since he's a junior. And both of these 2 young gentlemen trying to come across, but it's hit right to third base as Eric Munson does the duties, getting the final out on a fly ball. The line drive attempt by Ackerman. He couldn't get it over him as the Sundevils celebrate as they win the Division I high school baseball championship. And what a bunch of young men that are happy right now. And what a job that they have accomplished in the 95 season, winning 30 games, and that is the most in a season. Grossmont had a total of 29. Vista had 29 in 1993. Grossmont did it in 90 and 91. And Mira Mesa had a total of 29 wins last year. But the team that was knocked out was not in it this year. And the team that was knocked out last year in their attempt to try and win it all by Granite Hills, who subsequently won it all, comes up big this year and wins the CIF Toyota High School Baseball Championship for San Diego County. I'm Greg Porter for George Landerman Video Sports Productions. Hope you enjoyed this high school baseball championship game. And we'll be back. Stick with us with some interviews and some closing comments from this championship game here at Jack Murphy Stadium.
zone. Assistant coach Tony Matalega. Assistant coach Mark Burdick. Assistant coach Bob Perry. And the head coach Sam Blaylock. And now accepting the CIF Division I Veteran Award. Nice hand for the Rancho Bernardo Broncos. Division I champion, Mike Murphy. Mark Tarrant. Eric Chavez. Jake Epstein. Mark Muncie. Dennis Mello. Frank Giammi. Brian Weber. Tony Castillo. Fred Mangarelli. Donnie Rogers. Ryan Osterhughes. Mike Giammi. Doug Shaw. Carl LaGreco. Chachi Mueller. Eric Munson. Dave Uris. The assistant coaches, Sal Embry. Assistant coach, Dean Weiss. One other player for the Sundevils, Eric Chavez. And the head coach for the Sundevils, Steve Edwards. Carmel Sundevils.
I ordered these when I was the whole division left over, so I'm getting $6 extra. Happy birthday, dear Bob. Happy birthday to you.
Greg Porter back here live at Jack Murphy Stadium. I'm here with first baseman for the Sundevils, Carla Greco. Congratulations first. I know you're kind of hoarse. How does it feel?
Feels great. You know, I came from a losing program to a winning program overnight. And I really like to thank my parents, and I love them because they spent a lot of money on me for me to play here. And it's just great. It's the best feeling you could ever have.
It really is. You had a great game today. You had, a couple hits in the fifth inning. Guys broke it open. What were you guys saying coming in that inning? Things just seemed to open up for you guys.
We just wanted to get things started, and get our pitches and not miss. We wanted to calculate on every pitch, and we did. We played a great game. We played our best baseball.
Well, thanks. Let me get some of your teammates. Congratulations. We're here with the Sun Devil catcher, Jake Epstein. Jake, this has got to be a great feeling, especially being the catcher, and running the battery there with you and Dave Uris. What did you say to him before the game, before his first pitch of the game?
Well, the main thing for Davey is to stay loose. When he stays loose, he's about as good as you can get. And I just said, get ahead, get started, and as soon as that first pitch was thrown, I knew he was going to have a good game.
Well, he's had a great season, but obviously that's a tribute to you. What did you say to yourself before coming into this year?
Well, coming in this year, I just wanted to be the best catcher I could be. I take pride in what I do, and it's great to catch a pitching staff that can throw the ball like they can. It seemed like wherever I wanted to put the glove, they'd throw the ball there. All starters, all pitchers we had, it was great. It was fun catching.
Well, I'm sure you guys had a great time doing that this year. And were you going to play college or anything like that after this?
I have one more year. I'm a junior, so I hope to be back here next year.
Okay, running that pitching staff. Good luck, Jake. Thank you. Congratulations. Okay, we're here with Eric Munson. Eric, you had a good game today at the plate and defensively. What has been the success for you guys defensively? I mean, what has been your is it just hustle and determination, or is it just the fact that the pitchers keep you guys not on your heels but on your toes?
Yeah, Dave Uris he's an awesome pitcher. He's done really good all year long, and he's a quick worker, so it keeps everybody on their toes and throws a lot of ground balls, and everybody's ready to play defense when he's pitching.
Okay, Eric Chavez has obviously had an opportunity to pitch a lot of times. He's done well. Of course, he's probably your team leader. He's an outstanding player in that. They walked him a lot today, but the thing was you guys rallied around that the defense was trying to do. What did your coach tell you coming into the game today?
He just said come out, swing the bats, and we've seen these guys before, and just come out swinging at first pitches, swinging at strikes, and just come out and swing the bats all day long like we have all year.
Well, you really did today. You guys win big, winning the championship. Congratulations, and good luck.
Thanks a lot.
And now here's an opportunity at Jack Murphy Stadium to see the team picture of the CIF champions of Division I, the Mount Carmel Sundevils, and their coaches, those are cheerleaders, fans.
Hi, Mom! Hi, Mom!
Here with the winning pitcher and one of the spearheaders of the staff, Dave Uris. Dave, you've had an unbelievable season, had an outstanding game again today. What was your focus coming into the game? Were you nervous? Or?
I think you have to be nervous in a game like this. I don't think you're human if you're not. But I think the key to our win today was getting ahead early, getting us 2 runs in the first inning. I mean, at the time it might not seem like a lot, but I mean that gives you an edge when you're playing out there. And once we got those 2 runs, the only thing I could think about was getting that last out in the 7th inning. For 6th inning, I was thinking about that.
Well, there was the one inning there where they seemed to try and see if they could try to get something going, but your defense makes the double play and it gets you out of the inning.
Our defense did a great job because, I mean, it's hard to get used to a field like this. It's the first time we played, and we had to get used to the bleachers and the fans in the bleachers, but we adjusted good. We didn't really make many mental mistakes out there, and that's the key to winning is great defense.
Especially the hill. The hill is the one that you have to try to get adjusted to there.
It was great. I don't think you can get a better mound out there, so you can't complain about a hill when you pitch at Jack Murphy Stadium, that's for sure.
That's right. Okay, well, thank you very much, and congratulations.
Thanks a lot.
All righty. I'm back here with Sam Blaylock here at Jack Murphy Stadium, the CIF Championship. Sam, I know it's not a great feeling right now. You're losing the CIF Championship. You guys have had a great season, though. A lot of great things have happened for you, and you come in here and get blanked out. But the thing is, you made it here.
Well, thank you very much. Like I said, this loss can't take away the great season that we had.
Exactly.
And we ran into a team that got a lot of breaks tonight and cashed in those breaks, and we had to change our style a little bit, and so we ended up putting a lot of kids in, letting them play the game. But they're a great team, and they deserve the championship, but we were also here, so it's a big step for our program.
Well, thanks, Sam. And you guys beat Mira Mesa getting here, and you don't have Jones to throw, but you were here, and that's the biggest thing.
We were okay, and we hope to keep building, keep getting better.
Okay, thanks, Sam. Back here with the winning coach, CIF Championships, Mount Carmel Sundevils, Steve Edwards. Steve, this is a great feeling, isn't it?
This is a tremendous feeling. I'd like to say that I've never felt anything like this before, but there are other parts of your life that are just as meaningful. But in athletics, in sports, never. I have never felt anything like this, and it is so great I can't explain it to you.
Steve, this seems like a great bunch of kids that you've worked with this year. Obviously, they've taken all the lessons and things, as much effort that they've put into it to make it happen has all come out on top. What did you tell them to start the season?
Because we got defeated in the semifinals last year, and because there was a lot of pain involved in that loss, the one thing that we talked about was that we needed to take the next step. We had felt incomplete at the end of last year, and we weren't going to get over the shadow of that pain. We weren't going to get rid of the ghost of that defeat until we took that next step. And that's what I talked to him about early in the year, was let's go ahead and take the next step, fellas. Let's go ahead and do it. We've got the talent, we've got the character, we've got the wonderful kids, like you said. Let's go ahead and take that next step. And that was our theme.
Well, it seems like you probably got a great bunch of kids coming back next year.
I'll tell you, they're a great group of kids. We got some talented kids coming back next year, too. I would like to be back, maybe.
Thanks again,
Thank
Steve.
you very much.
Congratulations.